Hello, this is my health and sustainability interventions model. So I went with the analogy of the life cycle of trees, starting with the foundational aspects of the roots and the soil and what that has to do with the living parts of the trees, the working systems, and then the positive impacts that are released from these working systems or the oxygen that is released from the trees. So, starting with the soil and the foundational aspects that you would need to implement these interventions, starting with the social infrastructure, you definitely need the social infrastructure to be there in communities, whether that's the highlighting green spaces uh, to bring communities together, as well as having access to outdoor recreational spaces. This could also be libraries and having environmental programs different through different infrastructure. Moving into the zero waste and carbon negative frameworks is definitely a foundational piece that is needed to implement these interventions. And could look like large corporations pledging to emit less carbon and use less fossil fuels. This could also be on an individual base of using less single waste products. There's also a foundational piece of environmental policies. Unfortunately, nothing moves without policies in our world. So, moving forward, environmental policies that will positively impact communities are necessary. Also, the balance of the natural and built environment. Through this course, we've learned about the natural environment and the positive and negative impacts that are influenced from the built environment. And but as we're learning through this, they're through an engineering lens, balancing the two. As we're moving into the working pieces for the trees, we have environmental education. Unfortunately, there is a lack of environmental education, and it's actually been proven that with more environmental education in K through 12 schools, there has been an increase in knowledge of climate change, which could therefore impact the reduction of uh, the effects of climate change in the future for future generations. There's also nature-based solutions. As we've moved through this course, learning about different nature-based solutions like green infrastructure and how these methodologies impact the environment. As we're moving through eating and nutritious and locally grown foods, this is just from my perspective of nutritional education and food systems, but it has been proven that eating and eating, sorry, growing local foods and buying locally has positive impacts because it reduces emissions that are wasted on getting food to travel from place to place, and it reduces the need for pesticides. And then we move into the positive impacts from these systems. So there's less carbon emissions, reduction of communicable diseases, planetary health benefits, and happy and healthy communities, because we have set these foundational pieces and created these working solutions or these systems or these ecosystems like these trees do. We get these positive impacts that are used by everyone, that benefit everyone, just like oxygen does in reality for most life on Earth. So, with that, some changes that I would make to my project from the last course, I think it would be a good idea to balance the natural and built environments and just learning about different ways to do that using different green infrastructure techniques. Uh, I also enjoy learning about social infrastructure and what that means and different ways to implement it into ecology and make it sustainable. I also am more aware of how to highlight health and relate it to ecology and soil management. On the right-hand side is a graph that connects all of these different aspects to soil. So there's the political side, the economic side, and the science and research behind why soil can affect the health of communities. Thank you.